okay, things are dead. Things have died. Things are gone.
They're killing them off. Yeah.
I didn't understand one of them. So,
which is probably why they killed it off.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. So a couple of things Mozilla has killed off to the wild cheers of just focus on the browser type people everywhere. Pocket is dead. Go download whatever you have inside of Pocket by October. Get it out of there. Copy it. Move it. Whatever. Do whatever you need to do with it. Because Pocket is dead as well. Fakespot is also dead.
Yeah.
It didn't store anything, so they're yanking it.
Nothing to say.
Yeah, they're yanking that one from my cold dead hands on June 10th. Yeah, I thought it was my cold dead hands. It turns out it was Fakespot's cold dead hands.
Yeah. And I haven't done a whole lot of looking, but I haven't found a whole bunch of alternatives there.
Yeah, so here's the thing about Fakespot. I liked it.
Same.
But the thing about Fakespot, well, let me define what Fakespot was. For those of you that didn't know, or especially for those of you that never used Firefox or something, like the first time that you would go to Amazon or somewhere that has kind of like a comment API.
Yeah, sort of a review section.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fakespot would pop up on the side and be like, hey, I can review these for you, and basically take out all of the AI auto-generated ones and then give you what's left, the human comments, so that you can make a better decision about the product that you're buying. And honestly, it was pretty good. I liked it a lot.
It definitely picked up on the AI generated ones.
Yeah. But on the other hand, and it would give you like a letter score. So like A+, B-, C, D, E, F, whatever.
Yeah.
The other thing about it though is that it's using AI to detect AI. And that's never necessarily been like very good.
No. But like it's like I consider that like battle bots. You put them in the ring and you let them duke it out and see who comes out at the end, right? And
that
hopefully
is true.
It filters out some of the stuff that you don't want to see.
Right. So robotic sounding ones got yanked out, and you're just left with the more human ones, I guess.
Right.
But it did work. Honestly, I think I made better purchases based upon it. But it's going away.
I at least read better reviews that didn't get my blood pressure up.
True. So that is now gone, and so is Pocket. But here's the thing about Pocket. I never got Pocket. Like, it's there. It's still there in my Firefox. It's not gone yet.
Right.
The little icon is right there. I can see it.
Right.
But I didn't really understand what it was because I use bookmarks.
Yeah, the other thing that you and I both use, though, on a regular basis is RSS feed readers, too.
Yeah, right.
And so that's doing some of those things for you as well?
That's true. Okay. But it didn't really do any aggregation or whatever. It was like a save it for later. So Pocket, as far as I understand.
But like you get the summary of whatever, or you save it for later. It's got like a little summary of an article or whatever, and you can kind of do some of that in your feed reader too.
Right. So yeah, and I guess that's why. Actually, that's a good point. That's exactly why I never got along with Pocket, because I had other things in my life that did some of what Pocket did already.
Right.
So it just never clicked for me, and I never actually understood whether or not Pocket would offline download the article that you were pointing it at. And if it did, that's a killer thing. Like, that's great. But if it didn't, then I just totally do not understand what Pocket was for.
Yeah. Well, I can say that there at least there's some other alternatives, but one of the more popular ones is called Readeck. And it's a Pocket alternative. It's self-hosted right now, but I think at some point in time this year they were looking to roll out a hosted service too for people. And kind of the cool thing there, at least with Readeck, I don't know if Pocket ever did this. You can export that to like your ebook reader kind of thing, or
Okay.
So you can have a separate reader to read the articles, supposedly. The other thing that Readeck did that I noticed that seemed kind of cool, and I don't know if Pocket did this either, and we'll never find out. So, I mean, whatever.
Boo. Yeah, it's dead. No.
Is like when you save links to videos, it will save the transcript, if you will, and so that you can read that again on your ebook reader too. So,
okay,
couple handy things for the offline folks, I feel like, which is kind of neat. But yeah, I don't know either. Because, like I said, well, like you said, we've got some other alternatives that we use mostly for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and that's why. That's really why it missed me. The offline thing would be kind of cool, but I very rarely, and I mean very rarely, ever find myself without some kind of connection to the internet. At least for me, it ain't 1999 anymore, and I don't have to, disconnect my modem so I can make a phone call.
Yeah, I say offline, but I'm thinking like even a tablet or something, a separate away from like a desktop or a laptop, potentially.
Right.
Yeah, you got to get it on there somehow. So at some point it is connected to a network. But I suppose if you got it on your tablet and it's a Wi-Fi only tablet, then you could be reading those things like on a train or
okay,
whatever,
yeah,
if you travel.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I guess I just always have my phone with me, so not a tablet. Tablet's an at-home kind of device for me.
Yeah, fair.
Just same phone things, just on a bigger screen.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, if there's offline capabilities there, then I can totally see what it was about. But yeah, I just never ended up using it. So I guess that part is not sad. Fakespot is kind of sad. But again, just because AI is bad at detecting AI. I mean, the United States Declaration of Independence is 99.9% AI generated according to AI. So, you gotta...
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, not quite. As far as I understand, generative AI didn't exist back in 1776.
No, pretty sure. No. It wasn't predictive modeling. It wasn't generative AI. It wasn't any of that stuff. No.
That was ink and quill back then. So
sure was.
Not quite to the technological level of advancement that we are today.
Yeah.
But okay, so that's the bad news. I guess good news if you want Firefox or Mozilla to focus more on Firefox itself. But more good news for that crew, but also good news for me too, which is profiles.
Yeah.
Now, this is something that I have been looking. I think we mentioned it. We said it was going to be coming, and now it's here.
Right.
But it is rolling out slowly. So your browser may not have the ability to create new profiles yet. This is just like they did the tab islands, the tab, forget what tab groups.
Yes,
that was a staggered. Yeah, so that was a staggered rollout, which meant that not everybody got it the day they got 138.
Right.
And it slowly flipped on for people. You can go into about:config and turn it on. You can force it on. That's really all that's happening. There's a little logic bomb inside of everybody's Firefox with different times where that's just going to turn on for you. And that gives them the ability to turn it off in case things explode. But likely by the time you're hearing this, I will, and you will, and we'll all have the ability to create profiles in Firefox.
Yeah. Which is neat. I mean, yeah, like you said, it's been around in other browsers for a very long time, so it's a welcome addition. I think we're finally catching up. Finally.
Yep. I've been drooling at Vivaldi's profiles for a long, long time, and I think it's just a thing in Chromium, right? Because I know you said Chrome had it. I know Edge has it. I just used Edge today.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
It's not that good either.
Yeah, depends on.
Well, half my Edge hate comes from Chromium in the first place.
That's fair. I just meant as far as Chromium browsers go, it's not the worst, really.
The only thing that bothers me about Edge is that it keeps trying to sell you on Edge, like all the time.
Well, that's true, and that's very Chrome-like, though.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, you want me to sync all this to OneDrive? And I'm like, no, I thought I uninstalled OneDrive. Stop.
Yeah. How about Copilot? you want some AI in your face?
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
It does that a lot, too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. But I will say, So like the ad blocking and stuff, it's akin to Vivaldi in that regard, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
ad
Yeah, that's
blocking
okay.
and those things work pretty good, really.
Yeah. I'm surprised they even allowed cookie snatching. What is it, like the cookie rejection at all in Edge? But I mean, hey, I'll take it.
You think about it, it's kind of geared towards the enterprise in a way. So when you think about it, you really don't want your people at work, getting hooked up into that stuff. So
you're not wrong. Flick on the strict filter, and you're slightly better off. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's true. Yeah. Better than nothing.
That's really cool. But as far as profiles go, like I said, this is something that from the Chromium land I've been waiting for in Firefox for quite a long time. It has a lot of overlap with the way that I use the container tabs. I gushed about container tabs episodes and episodes ago, but it colors your tabs. It puts them in groups, essentially. I have a Linux user space that's orange. So I'm logged into all of my Linux user space stuff in those containers. I've got purple for my stuff, my personal stuff. I've got pink for banking stuff, right? Like, so it's all nice and segregated out.
I agree.
Things remember me. So I can go to like Gmail in my personal container tab, and then go to Gmail in the Linux user space tab,
right?
And they're separate, right?
Yeah.
So this is
log into both on the same browser.
Yes, and it saved me such a headache having to like tie them all together and use Google switching to no, thank you.
Right.
But Profiles is going to do a lot of that same thing for me. So I don't know. I'm going to have to see how exactly I'm going to play that out, because the containers kind of do a lot of what Profiles are bringing, and this is why I was able to say, well, I don't really need Profiles, right? Like I would like the feature, but this is what kind of kept me sated, I guess. Like I'm okay with this. This is okay. And it was all in one browser. But I do find myself like doing research and stuff, or have stuff that I do on the daily all the time in a browser, and then sometimes I just want like a new context. But sometimes I get them mixed up, and having a profile for it might actually help me kind of like gather my thoughts and understand what a new browser window was actually for, and maybe help me be a little bit more productive. So
that's fair, and I think there's different use cases for it too. I mean, I think about like if you were doing work stuff on your browser and you got a profile for that, and then you want to switch to doing your home stuff, you'd switch to another profile there, and so that like those things don't cross, if you will, and like it doesn't necessarily remember things, through that, right?
Right.
So that when you're done work, you close out of that profile and you're into your home one, and you're right into that. So I mean, but that's assuming, I guess, that you would be using the same machine potentially.
Yeah, so, that's exactly what I was going to say. I guess I'm in a pretty privileged position to have a work machine, that work assigned to me, and nothing personal goes on that thing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I can see a reason for it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'm just pretty lucky in that I don't need a profile for that, because I have an entire computer for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I get that. No.
Yeah, that is cool though. So I really like this. I mean, I really like that that we're seeing a lot of the features that I think people have been waiting for a long time, because Profiles has never been part of the Firefox thing.
No, not that I know of.
Right. But one thing that has been part of the Firefox ecosystem was PWAs, the progressive web apps.
Yes.
And
they keep threatening to bring those back.
Yeah. So looking ahead, that is something that I am looking forward to again. I didn't know that I needed them the first time they were introduced to me, but I got used to them, and then they took them away.
Yep.
And then I just got used to pin tabs. So instead of PWAs, I just pin a tab, and it sort of serves the same purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not quite though.
Not to toot too hard on Edge's,
Yeah,
horn.
they're pretty good at it.
They have it down. They absolutely do. And like all of the Microsoft online products, it it wants you to install them as a PWA.
Right, right.
Like it's got a little thing that says, "Hey, you can install this, as a an application. Would you like to do that?" And you click it, and it's easy. And then like Outlook on the web, it shows up like Outlook, your application, and it all looks kind of the same. So I can see a reason for that. It's pretty dang handy, honestly.
Yeah. So Chrome itself actually has PWAs, right? And you can do most of the Chrome apps that way, or the Google apps that way.
Yeah, the Google
You know what
apps
you can't do that way?
What's that?
Google has not enabled the ability for Chrome to pop out the calendar as a progressive web
separate app. Huh.
How insane is that? Like,
I don't know, that seems very useful.
It would be. It just blows my mind that that a company that size with that much money. I mean, they are all by their lonesome keeping Firefox afloat. Yet the calendar is not a PWA. What is up with that?
I don't know. I kind of like having my email and my calendar up at the same time.
Yeah,
just saying.
The email is that way, right? You can you can make the email a PWA in Chrome, but you can't do the calendar, and it's annoying that I cannot do that. You can do the chat that way, the little Google chat, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But what the heck, man? I need the calendar. It seems trivial, and it is. It really kind of is, because I do the same thing.
These are first world problems.
I pin a tab, but I reluctantly click on the tab. But man, my life revolves around that calendar. If I didn't have a calendar, I would not know what's happening ever.
I wouldn't know where to go if my calendar wasn't barking at me. No kidding.
No. And I'll finish on one last note.
Okay.
Firefox has so Pocket's dead.
Right.
If you were a fan, and I definitely was, of the little articles at the bottom of a new tab that were just interesting articles. Things about health, things about science, things about very big like events that were going on at the time. Those are apparently they were from Pocket. Pocket is dying, but those things are actually going to stay, though it is unclear exactly how they're going to be curated from now on.
Yeah, I was going to say, how would they get ranked? Basically, they're probably ranked based on the number of people that have chosen to save those articles to Pocket, right?
Yeah,
and so that's sort of a ranking system. Now you're just going to get whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but I love those articles. It's articles that I would not have come across.
Well, they're fairly popular, right? I mean, that's the idea.
Yeah, and just I like those. Huh. I like those a lot. So keep those coming.
We'll see where that goes.
Yeah. So, well, I'm sure by the time, because Pocket will be dead in October. We'll come back after the season finale for the season premiere. Probably by the time we come back, we'll have a clearer view on what the heck is happening with those little things. Not that we'll spend a whole lot of time on it, but
we'll see. Hey, if you like looking at her face, or maybe not, I mean, at least you like looking at the things that Leo puts on the screen over top of our faces. The little things that are scrolling up right in front of you. Yeah. Web pages, all that good stuff. If you like seeing those things, you like the video, you wanna catch it that way, you can catch us on YouTube. Subscribe over there, like all that good stuff, and you can write us comments there. That's some of where we get our feedback, honestly.
The last feedback was almost a majority YouTube,
with the exception of maybe one. I think they were all YouTube, comments. So it's a great place to leave comments. That's good stuff. You can like, comment, and subscribe over there on YouTube. But we're also on TillVids when we do our informational and history bits. Those get posted over there on TillVids, which is a PeerTube instance that, they're very gracious hosts at TillVids to allow us to post our content. Very supportive of, FOSS and whatnot. So that's pretty cool.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, exactly. Edutainment is the term that they classify their content.
So go over there and learn something.
There's lots of good learning. There really is. There's some great there's other channels that are great too. So poke around a little bit, take a look. And if you really, really love us, you can send us $1 or $2 over at Patreon and support the channel. so that we can, keep delivering these great things. And you'll get early access to, audio, video, high quality audio. You get the full, depending on how much you donate, right? You get the full show before the show and the show after the show. Plus the show. You get all the shows. All rolled
$5
into
or
one.
more, and you get to see us put the sausage together. That I think is, I don't know. I really enjoy that part of the show because sometimes I think Dan and I have a vague idea what we want to talk about. Like we're going into the bloat section here next.
We are,
and I'll tell you all why you're wrong. But before the show, we knew what we were talking about. We had some of the hard numbers, but I think one of the things that we kind of coalesced on was how exactly we wanted to do that. And it turns out we added a little information that we didn't have before, and took out a little information and learned something too. That's the most interesting thing. I'll tell you what we learned here in just a minute, but that's kind of the important bit is that if somehow, some way we seem put together with what you're watching right now.
No, you need to subscribe. Patreon. You need to send us the money on Patreon just so you can experience it once.
Yes, because an hour ago, it wasn't so well thought out because we put a lot of work into kind of thinking things out and figuring out how we're going to say stuff. So you get that whole, usually it's an hour. I think today was like 50 something minutes.
Which was shorter than normal, but yeah.
Yeah, we've done well over an hour before. But and then that also includes some of the bits at the end of the show too, where it's kind of a debrief.
Wrap up. Talk. Yeah.
Take that deep breath, and I get to realize how dumb I sounded, or something. So
well, that happens.
It's all out there. For those of you.
So what Leo is saying is, you don't just get the Michelin star dish, you get to watch, the shopping trip, and someone fumble and drop the onion on the floor and pick it back up and all of that stuff. It's all there.
It's the crashing cutlery and plates and stuff, and then you're in
pans in flames and all that stuff. You get to see it.
Yay, good work.
And then there you go. Yeah, we present it to you.